was doubling roughly every 18 months or so, due to a downscaling of the size of electronic components. This trend has remained roughly true for the past 40 years, and fuels the economic growth of our times. If Moore's law continues until 2020, we'll be able to store a bit of information on a single atom. Moore's law will enable the building of Artilects this century, and hence initiate the Artilect debate and possibly the Artilect war. Multi. A multilingual, multicultured person who has lived in several cultures or countries. Multis are enriched by the strengths of several cultures they absorb into their personalities. Multis usually prefer the company of other multis, taking an attitude that monos are boring. Monos tend to have a poor sense of cultural relativity, unconsciously imposing the monocultured standards of their monocultured upbringing upon the values and behaviours of the multis. This failing of the monos is seen as unsophisticated and limiting by multis. Nanolect, an abbreviation of the term nanoscale artilect, that is, one based on nanotechnological components and principles, as distinct from a femtolect, which is based on femtotech and femtometer-based components. A nanolect would be as inferior to a femtolect as would a human being to a nanolect. In this book, an artilect is usually conceived of as a nanolect, not a femtolect. Femtotechnology has barely been speculated upon by the scientists, let alone explored in the laboratories. A nanolect could be of virtually any size, ranging from the submicroscopic, requiring a microscope to see it, to asteroid size, hundreds of kilometers across and beyond. The more atoms used to store information in Artilect circuitry, the larger the size of the nanolect. Atoms have a definite size and take up space. Nanometer, asterisk. Nano means a billionth with a B. A nanometer is a billionth of a meter, that is, molecular scale. Atoms are about a tenth of a nanometer across. Today's computers function at nanosecond speeds. Nanotech, asterisk. An abbreviation of the term nanotechnology or molecular scale engineering, which is the construction of molecular scale machines, one atom at a time, with perfect atomic precision. Artilects will be based on nanotech. Nanots, an abbreviation of the term nanoscale robot, that is, a robot of molecular scale, nanometer or billionth of a meter, capable of picking up single atoms and placing them with atomic precision to build molecular components and machines. Netolect, an abbreviation of the term network of artilects. Artilects, even if they can store one bit on one atom, will face computational limits on how much data they can store within a given mass. They'll be able to exchange data, experience, and ideas with each other by linking up in a huge network, probably via the use of electromagnetic waves or some physical phenomenon human beings have not discovered yet, or may never discover due to human intellectual limitations. PhysComp, asterisk, an abbreviation of the term physics of computation, which investigates the fundamental physical limits of computation. For example, is it possible to compute with zero heat generation? What's the maximum rate of computation one can perform in a given volume, in a given time, etc.? Quantum computing questions are much discussed in the field of PhysComp. Quantum computing, asterisk. As the electronics industry shrinks its components to molecular scale, quantum phenomena begin inevitably to appear. Quantum computing is a form of computation that takes advantage of the quantum phenomenon of superposition of quantum states, which can handle many classical mechanical cases at once. This is hugely more efficient than classical computing, which computes one case at a time. Nanotech-based artilects will need to be quantum computers, given their molecular scale. Reversible computing, asterisk. A style of computing that generates zero heat and hence serves as the basis for three-dimensional computer circuitry. Reversible computing employs reversible logic gates that do not destroy information. Thermodynamical considerations show that wiping out bits of information generates heat. By sending information through a reversible computer, copying the answer, and then sending the result back reversibly through the same circuitry, one arrives at the original input. No information is destroyed, and so no heat is generated. Reversible computing is inevitable because molecular scale circuits will explode if they employ traditional irreversible techniques. This century's Artilects will be based upon this computing style. Scaling war. The type of war that may occur when new technologies allow the construction of new life forms of vastly superior intellectual and other capacities. The greater intellectual capacities result from greater signaling speeds and component densities. An example of a scaling war, take the Artilect war between the Cosmists and the Terrans, both human groups, when nanotech-based Artilects, nanolects, become possible. A further example could be a war between the Xists and the Yists, both nanolect groups, when femtotech-based Artilects, femtolects, become possible. The basic cause of a scaling war is due to disagreements between two groups of the same scale over the risks that may follow if superior creatures based on the new, smaller, faster, denser technologies are built. The latter might decide to exterminate the creatures based on the inferior, larger, slower, sparser technologies. Scientist religion. Most scientists are not conventionally religious, tending to look upon conventional religions as being based on pre-scientific superstitions that are incompatible with both modern scientific knowledge and with the modern scientific approach of testing hypotheses. However, scientists are also human beings, and hence have the same religious hungers as other people. Cosmism is a religion to the Cosmists, yet is based on modern science. It could be a scientist religion in the sense of providing a sense of awe, of collective purpose, the creation of gods, etc., but be consistent with science. Cosmism is a set of, in quotes, religious beliefs that scientists could find credible. Singularity, asterisk. In mathematics, a singularity is a value that approaches infinity. In the context of the Artilect debate, the singularity refers to the idea that a time will come when a machine is made which is so smart that it will be able to redesign itself better and faster than human beings. The result will be a superior machine that then designs an even better one ad infinitum and at the speed of light. Another variant is that the machine will be an excellent learner and simply starts learning for itself at a rate 1,000,000 times faster than humans. Its increase in intelligence and knowledge would seem infinitely fast to humans. Smartilect, an abbreviation for a smart Artilect. There will probably be many kinds of Artilect built this century. The early Artilects will be less intelligent and capable than the later ones. The really smart ones could be called Smartilects. Space consciousness. Space consciousness is the emotionally overwhelming feeling one has when one sees either through vivid, large-scale 3D graphics, or for real to some extent, the immensity of space, the billions of stars in a galaxy, the billions of galaxies in our universe. This feeling makes one conscious of the total insignificance of human preoccupations. Space consciousness makes human beings more aware that there are bigger things in life and in the universe than normal day-to-day human activities and goals. Space consciousness is an important concept to the Cosmists and to Cosmist ideology. Species dominance debate. The issue that will dominate global politics this century is that of species dominance. The species dominance debate will focus upon the question of whether humanity should build Artilects or not. Should human beings remain the dominant species, or should Artilects be built to surpass us in intelligence levels? Progress in 21st century technologies will allow Artilects to be built and force the dominant species issue to be debated. Species dominance war. A war between the dominant biological species of a planet and the Artilects that it creates. Since the Artilects would be a superior species to the biologically based creatures, the war would settle which species would dominate. A distinction needs to be made between a species dominance war and the Artilect war. The Artilect war is the name given to the war between two human groups fighting over whether or not Artilects should be built. A species dominance war could occur anywhere in the universe and is far more general concept. For example, if femtolects, that is femtotechnology-based Artilects, had a war with the nanolects, that is nanotechnology-based Artilects, that would be a species dominance war. Talkies. A talkie is a slang word for a conversational robot, that is, one that a human being can chat with, have a friendship with, and if the talkies are smart enough, to have a relationship with. Talkies will need to be of almost human level of intelligence to be really effective and popular with their human owners. Teacher bots. A teacher bot is a teacher robot, that is, an artificially intelligent robot capable of teaching human beings by adapting to their intelligence levels, interests, and motivations. Terran. A Terran, based on the word terra, T-E-R-R-A, the Earth, is someone who feels that Artilects are too potentially dangerous to the survival of human beings to be built. Terrans oppose the Cosmists, who feel that they should be built. The Terrans want human beings to remain dominant species on the Earth. The fundamental attitude of the Terrans is that the only way to be sure that there is zero risk that the Artilects will destroy the human species at some later date is that the Artilects are never built in the first place. Therefore, to preserve the survival of the human species, the Terrans will stop the Cosmists, no matter what the cost, even if a major war is necessary. Terran problem. The Terran problem is the name given to the fear of the leaders of the artificial brain-based industries that they may see their companies lose sales and political influence if the Terrans succeed in placing a global ban on the development of Artilects beyond a certain safe for humans intelligence level. Well, that's it for the glossary. What's then followed is the bibliography. I won't read that, it's rather boring, it's just a whole list of books. If you want to see the bibliography, go to my website, click on the tab Books Written, and you can read the text of this book that I've been reading aloud from my screen. Okay, so that's it for this book. The next time I record, I'll start reading aloud my second paper-published book entitled Multis and Monos, which is about the rise of a global state, a fully democratic global state, not a Jewish bankster dictatorship ruled from Jerusalem. So,